Okay. Hello, dear friends. Good morning. Such a beautiful, beautiful morning. So, here I am in Monoprix in Centre Montparnasse, Montparnasse, in that train station area. And every year when I go to France, I must visit this place. This place has such a special feeling, a special place in my heart. I think almost 30 years ago, when I first became a full-time student and came to Paris to study. I was a poor student, and every day we went to outside people are talking. I went to class and here and there, and La Sorbonne, Le Cours, it's usually in this area, in Montparnasse, Quartier Latin, and this area. So one day, my boyfriend, that time boyfriend, my husband, told me there is a new shop and so beautiful, So I visited, and it was so beautiful, so beautiful. It's almost like Galerie Lafayette Gourmet. You know, in Paris there are some many beautiful shops. One is Galerie Lafayette Gourmet, and they renovated and becomes beautiful this year. And they have sell some food, sell some daily use item. That is so beautiful. You are just trembling. And this was the feeling when I first went to, this place where I am in. I went to 30 years ago when I first came here, and the shop was pristine, clean, beautiful, and the tomato is shining, and the little tomato, cherries, everything is shining, is beautiful. And they sell shrimps, which is one of the items I can afford. It's not too expensive. Even now they are not too expensive. I can afford. So from time to time I buy 100 gram, 200 gram, a quarter pound, something, and go back home to enjoy. And so fresh and so professional. And there is a charcutier, the meat and cheese counter, and food, finished food counter. So there are hams and Chinese nams, dumpling, everything. They have so many things and so very well, beautifully arranged. Every time I went there, I just feel, do you know that? Is that dopamine? That you just think about it or enter it into it. I think it's dopamine. You get into that shop and look at this beautiful presentation of food, and in my heart you just imagine and start to salier and start to think, oh, this, I will bite it slowly, and there will be some salty flavor, some of the flavor of internal long time boiled or very well balanced spice. I will not say it because there might be some people who does not like meat or does not like vegetable. Anyway, it was just trembling with joy and with the most unspeakable, unthinkable, unimaginable flavors. How did they think to put all these flavor in one place, or put a particular flavor into that particular thing? It wonders me. And when I think about it, it's just trembling with joy. And something make me even more trembling with joy is that I was hungry. There was no student who was not hungry, right? Student life is about hunger for knowledge, and mostly hunger in stomach. And I was a student, I was hungry. First, the hunger, and the second, I have no money to afford it. I can just suddenly inside myself. So from time to time in the weekend, my boyfriend and me, we will go together. Then he can afford a little bit of things, and it was heavenly. Well, there was one thing I could not afford. There was another thing that I do not like to spend money. So it builds up that desire, builds up that admiration for good, beautiful, and delicious food. That's the best thing in life. That's the best dopamine you can get. Just something you cannot afford, you cannot have, but you wholeheartedly want it. And I remember my student life was so good because I do not have money, and everything is delicious. It's just so delicious. I remember when I was in middle school, and we were in class, and I like to read books. So when the teacher have a class, and I sometimes sneak peek some of the novels, Chinese novels. There was one novel by Zhang Xianliang. Oh, I'm sorry. They're outside. They are doing some transportation and things. Anyway, so there was one book describing the hunger, the desire. There was one guy, he was put for political reason, he was put into jail, and so he suffered, and he was talking about his hunger. At that time, I lived at home, and I was not hungry at all, but reading his book, he was so hungry, he could not sleep, he could not stand, he could not think, he could not function, just every day think about food, every food, anything, as long as I can chew with my mouth, that is delicious. I hope my word can bring you some appetite. That is so contagious and so powerful, the way he described. Anyway, so when I was students, go to beautiful gourmet shop, supermarket. I go to supermarket, any supermarket makes me happy, and still even to now, to today, when I am usually not hungry and usually we are overfed, still that joy of food, of beautiful food, of good food, of delicious food, of very well executed family food just makes me happy. And not industrial food, not the food made so artificially pretty, but you can see that is not well executed. For example, some photo pictures, the food is, every single piece is individual, it's made so pretty, and you know it's not even cooked, the flavor is not even blended, And there are food you need integrity, but you feel it's just a presentation. That I do not like at all. Yeah, so I am traveling, and when I travel, I am hungry. So this is, I more or less talk about the true feeling I have when I go to beautiful supermarket. I go to food market, go to farmers market, food hall, Leal, and every time I just get so excited. Cannot control myself. So this is the shop, and so beautiful. So I visited all the time when I finished school. When I was in Paris, finished school, more or less we will pass by there. There was a train station, and I go walk around and do not buy anything, or maybe buy a bag of cookie, the French butter cookie, gâteau bourdon, and then come back home. And that's something that I can afford. But anyway, that's one of my almost daily routine. And then I spent one whole year in Paris, and then we moved to California. And in California, we start to build up our job, our family, and even have children. We had children. And a few years later, we went back to France. And maybe just accumulation of resource, I can start to buy 1 or 2 cakes, 1 or 2 dishes from those places. Oh, I will not talk about those poor people's talk. And anyway, seeing beautiful things, seeing people putting their attention and making their effort, make things pretty nice, and make the best of it, really inspires me. A lot of design comes from these ideas, right? So this time I am traveling, it just eye-opening. I think one thing beautiful about travel, anyway, you can travel at home in your own places. I travel at home in my, I am a tourist in my own hometown, because there are always some new shops open, new streets you have not seen, new parks, or even the same park. Every day you will see something different. It's very inspiring. But coming to a different country and seeing a different design style, different aesthetic, different lifestyle, different way of living, it's just so eye-opening, and I enjoy every minute of it. So that's about it. And another thing is that 30 years ago, when this shop firstly opened, it was so beautiful, and now it's starting to be a little bit getting old. And this time, I do not know, I have a feeling everything is a little bit getting a little bit wear off. Yeah. And which is part of the beauty, part of the charm in it. You know, at home or at some other places. You go to Whole Foods, there is a new department store open, there is something new open, new shopping center open. There is this energy of new, of pretty, of a la mode, of catch up with fashionable, of a trend. But there is another beauty in this world, is getting old. And getting old with time, there is another layer of richness, right? It's not flashy, bright, and just attractive. There is another charm in it. I love it. I think I love different style. I enjoy different. I think I just get another kind of inspiration from another kind of reality. That's the reality. We get old, our body get old, our style get old, but still there is a reason for our life, and there is value in our life, even if we are getting old. Do I make any sense? Okay, I think we are coming to almost the end of the video. I wish you a happy, happy, happy every day. I love you. I really do. Do. Cuckoo. Bye.